Hi, in this video, you're going to learn all about stuttering. Whether you're a person who stutters or a person who's interested in learning about stuttering, there are many people, 70 million people in the world who stutter, or 1% of the world's population. So this is a topic definitely worth learning about. Have you ever known someone who stutters, or do you stutter? What are your questions about stuttering? Please tell us in the comments. Go ahead and watch all the way to the end of the video to hear what I learned about Steve Harvey and stuttering. A lot of my information was taken from the following websites: the Stuttering Foundation of America and the American Speech Language Hearing Association. I would highly recommend checking those out, and I will leave links to those websites in the description below. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get more great content with communication, communication through song, speech, language, diction, voice. If you make a great comment, I will reply. What would you like to know about stuttering? Or is there another speech language topic that you'd like to explore? Please do comment. What is stuttering? It is repetition of sounds, syllables, or words, prolongation of sounds, interruptions in the flow of speech, called blocks, sometimes interjections, which are nonsense words like that might be repeated over and over. True stuttering may be accompanied by struggle or tension, and there may be anxiety as well with stuttering. What causes stuttering? It runs in families, and so there's probably a genetic component. It tends to be developmental. It develops in children ages 2 to 6 usually, although sometimes it can be neurogenic. That means it could develop after a head injury or a stroke. How is it diagnosed? Some stutters are more typical. Things like repeating whole words, repeating phrases, and interjections are disfluencies that are more typical. So if you're doing those things, you are being disfluent, but you're probably not truly stuttering. True stuttering includes less typical behaviors like part word repetitions, sound repetitions, blocks, prolongations, tension, struggle, and avoidance. So how is stuttering treated? Well, it depends on the age and the goals of the person. In preschoolers, there's a program called the Lidcombe program. It's one of the most effective and popular programs for treating preschool children. It basically involves acknowledging moments of fluency, drawing attention to those moments, commenting on them, and every once in a while commenting on moments of disfluency. It basically works through positive reinforcement. In older people, there can be lots of goals for disfluency and for stuttering. You might want to minimize difficulty communicating in various situations. You might want to work on self-advocacy or disclosing that you stutter, or being more comfortable with stuttering, just talking about stuttering, being able to enjoy communication no matter what level of fluency you're at, and improving self-confidence. There are 2 ways to treat stuttering that each use a little bit of a different method. One is called speech modification, which includes fluency shaping. That is where you try to teach the person techniques for being more fluent. Things like easy onset, light contact, rate control. So teaching the person to talk with very little tension just in general, and maybe slowing their rate of speech, sometimes with delayed auditory feedback. If you're interested in delayed auditory feedback, you can see a little more about that in my video about cluttering. Also, there's a device called the Speech Easy that you can wear in your ear that gives delayed auditory feedback continuously if a person needs more help with remembering to use a slow rate or being prompted to use a slow rate. There's also stuttering modification techniques. This is where you work to reduce physical tension in stutters. Maybe you will stutter on purpose so that you can learn that you are in control of the stuttering. You can control how much tension there is, how fast or how slow the stutters are. It gives a person who stutters that feeling of being in control that they can sometimes lose through stuttering. There are techniques called preparatory sets, pullouts, and cancellations that are used to identify where the tension is and then to stutter more easily or more fluently. Other goals in stuttering and treatment include reducing word avoidance, reducing negative feelings surrounding stuttering, using desensitization techniques, support groups, and exposing the person to hierarchies of difficult situations for speaking. So now you made it to the end of the video. You want to know what I learned about Steve Harvey? I never knew that he was a person who stuttered, but he has stuttered since he was a young child. You can read about him on the Stuttering Foundation of America's website. It's very inspiring. He worked very hard to overcome challenges from stuttering to become a TV personality. His technique that he used, which I'd never heard before, and I really liked it, is repeat what you want to say 3 times to yourself until you feel comfortable, and then say it out loud. If it works for you, great. There was one thing that really surprised me in his video. He said that he was told to avoid certain words when he spoke so he wouldn't stutter. I don't know who told him this, if it was a speech pathologist or not, but I really hope it wasn't a speech pathologist, because what I have learned is that you should teach people who stutter to never avoid, complete non-avoidance, no avoidance. It's better to actually stutter on a word than to not say what you want to say, and to get used to those stutters and being able to overcome them rather than avoiding. Thanks, Steve Harvey, for that information, and I highly recommend his video as well. Please do like and subscribe if you're interested in learning more about speech, language, voice, and diction, and let me know if there's any aspect of stuttering or another speech-language disorder that you'd like to learn more about next. I'm going to put an end card with a link to my speech-language pathology playlist. Please watch and be sure to share and subscribe. We'll see you soon.